Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wealthy Life, a channel for your personal growth, awakening, and financial wisdom. Have you ever asked yourself, why are employees praised for obedience but overlooked for independent thinking? Why do some workplaces still operate like the military, top-down commands, no questions asked, while others thrive in chaos and creativity? The answer lies not just in company culture, but in a deeper misunderstanding of what truly drives performance and loyalty. Why do some companies still believe obedience is more valuable than initiative? Why does this obsession with obedience exist? The need for obedience often stems from insecurity at the top. When leaders lack clarity, vision, or confidence, they default to control. It's easier to say, just do what I say, than to foster dialogue or encourage debate. In some legacy corporate cultures, high obedience is equated with low risk. You follow orders, keep your head down, and don't rock the boat. But this model punishes innovation and curiosity. It creates a culture of fear where people comply, not because they believe, but because they're scared. Harvard Business Review once described these environments as low-trust cultures, places where employees might nod along in meetings, only to disengage afterward. These workplaces might look stable on the surface, but beneath, they're rotting. What do great companies do differently? Great companies don't crave control. They crave contribution. They hire people not to say yes, but to challenge, question, build, and co-create. If everyone is thinking alike, then no one is thinking. Take Google in its early days. One of their core philosophies was, you can be serious without a suit. This wasn't just about dress code. It reflected a belief that great ideas can come from anywhere, and that dissent is not a threat, but a strength. Netflix's famous freedom and responsibility memo makes this even clearer. We don't measure people by how many hours they work or how obedient they are to their manager. We care about impact. Obedience never created the Netflix algorithm. Initiative did. Consider Galileo Galilei. In the 1600s, he dared to suggest the earth revolved around the sun. The church demanded obedience. They didn't want to hear. They wanted loyalty to doctrine. Galileo was silenced, placed under house arrest, but centuries later, we remember him as a pioneer of science. What's the lesson? Obedience may protect power in the short term, but truth, innovation, and progress always come from those willing to challenge the status quo. In the movie Dead Poets Society, Robin Williams plays Mr. Keating, an unorthodox teacher at a conservative boys' academy. While the school demands obedience and conformity, Keating teaches the students to seize the day, to think for themselves, to question tradition. One student, Neil, discovers his passion for acting, but is crushed by his father's authoritarian demand to pursue medicine instead. The consequences are tragic. The film becomes a haunting reminder of what happens when freedom is denied, and when obedience is demanded at the cost of the soul. How can we break free from the obedience trap? Leaders must encourage dissent. Ask your team, what's wrong with this idea? Not do you agree? Create psychological safety, so people feel they can disagree without penalty. Hire for courage, not compliance. Strong hires aren't the ones who follow rules perfectly. They're the ones who rewrite them when necessary. Look for curiosity, initiative, and resilience. Celebrate constructive disagreement. Make it a norm to challenge upwards. When junior team members question strategy respectfully, reward that. That's how innovation is born. Move from control to trust. Control is a management crutch. Trust is leadership strength. Trust people to own their work and define how they get to the result. Empower, don't police. Instead of saying you must do it this way, ask, what do you think is the best path forward? Empowered employees work harder because they believe in why they're doing it. The best executive is the one who has sense enough to pick good people to do what he wants done and self-restraint to keep from meddling while they do it. Compliance makes you predictable. Creativity makes you indispensable. What kind of company do you want to be part of? Ask yourself, do you want to be in a place where your value is measured by how well you obey or how deeply you think? The best companies, Apple, Netflix, Google, Patagonia, don't dominate their employees into obedience. They inspire them into purpose. They don't want silent followers. They want bold co-creators. Because in the end, a culture of obedience may win the day, but only a culture of trust, courage, and challenge will win the decade. Let's stop romanticizing obedience in the workplace. Share this with someone who needs a reminder that great leaders don't demand submission, they inspire boldness. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like and share the video. May you soon discover your true direction in life.